The world has a clear imbalance to it, and people get away with things all the time that they shouldn't be able to. But every once in a while, something really fair happens. Yeah, I mean, something happens that's so fair that you're like, even though a person took it into their own hands to make it happen, you're like, you know what, this makes up for a little bit. Like, I'll give you an example. Okay, so my buddy is a wedding photographer. He's been a wedding photographer for like 17 or 18 years, maybe even 20. And so he's done weddings, you know, for most of his adult life. He got in photography as a kid, and now that's like his prime means of income. And so he was doing this wedding, and everything's going good. Everybody dancing, having a good time, you know, like get that slide. You know, the toast, everybody's toasting, you know, I've always loved you. Good conversation, eating good food. And one of the bridesmaids walked up to him at some point in the wedding and was asking him questions because she was getting into photography. And she even thought, I might photograph weddings one day. Maybe that'll be how I make money. And so he was giving her, you know, sort of like lowdown on how he does it and how he expects there to be like a wedding season. That'll be where he makes the bulk of his money, and then he'll have to save up money. The conversation lasted about like 4 minutes, right? But then she walks off, and then the groom walks up, and the groom walks up and says to him, look, you are here to take pictures. Okay? I don't want to see you talking to the guests or anything, because while you're talking, you could be snapping, so snap, snap. All right? And so then this dude, you know, goes ahead like a professional, finishes all the pictures and everything, and they get their pictures 2 weeks later, which was the agreement, and the bride looks beautiful. The groom, everybody was dancing, but somehow he caught the groom just... Everybody was eating. It was only with the groom that was like... Everybody was toasted. It was only the groom that was like... So obviously this dude called him back, furious. He was like, what's wrong with you? I thought you were a good photographer. Are you out of your mind? Why are you taking pictures like this and sending them? My wife looks beautiful. You made me look terrible. And he was like, oh, I just wanted everybody to see what you were like on the inside, you know, from the... And so when I saw those Vanity Fair pictures, I was so genuinely taken aback. So in case you haven't seen them, wow, spectacular. Jeez. In case you have not seen these Vanity Fair pictures, they are so fundamentally wild. Okay, so Susie Wiles did an interview with Vanity Fair, but they did like a whole profile of Trump's cabinet, did all these pictures of Trump's cabinet, right? And the photographer, Christopher Anderson, was taking the pictures, and he's known for taking pictures that are sort of like out of the box in general, you know? Like, you do know what you're getting into when you hire someone like him because you know he's gonna do something unconventional, you know, like something fresh, right? And he took a picture. He took a picture of J.D. Vance. It's way too close. It's way too close to his head. It's so close. Oh man. The picture is so close. It looked like when you go to take a picture with your phone and you open it and it's accidentally on selfie mode. And then you get insecure. You're like, ooh, ooh. what people see when they see me? This is the last thing. This close is the last thing people see before I kiss them. That's insane. That's probably why we close our eyes when we kiss. Even our ancestors were like, this is too intimate. This is insane. The picture is so close to his head. It is so close to his face. His head, I shouldn't even say head. His head not in it. It is so locked in on his face. It's not, I can't even call it face. His whole face wasn't in it. It is middle head. He got, so the whole picture, middle head, middle face, center, locked in, middle head, middle face. And he's I don't know what his plan was for the picture. Because yes, this person was too close, but he also made that face. Because he made a face. It wasn't just his face. He made a face. He did like, okay. There's a sneer that dudes will do if they think that they're bad. You know what I mean? Like there's like you lift one side of your face. It's like you're gonna smirk. It's usually what a villain does in a movie. Like, right when they're introduced, they'll be like, huh. Now, he did overdo it. He did overshoot the sneer, so it's very much like, oh. Looked like he stepped on a Lego and was trying to hold it together. You know what I mean? You ever get hurt in front of somebody and you don't want to look hurt, so you just... Okay, I'll give you a good example. All right, one time for 4th of July, I went with some friends to their family's 4th of July. Spent the whole 4th of July with them, right? And they were firing off in the backyard. A bunch of the kids were firing off Roman candles, right? And so then they all... right? Everybody was having a good time. And then this kid fired one off. And then the last one exploded, but it exploded before it got all the way out of the tube. So some of it did explode like on his hand a little bit, right? And everyone saw it. And then, kid is like 12, 13, right? And then there was this other girl at the party who was like 16. And so she turns, because we all heard the pop. And then she turns, she's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? He's 13. She's 16. She's an older woman. She just saw something horrific happen and asked him if he's okay. And he went... yeah, I'm fine, It's whatever, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes things pop off, you know what I'm saying? Real question is, are you all right? Because you looking all right, Like, if anything, you look a little parched. You want me to get you some lemonade? I was going inside anyway. Let me get you a lemonade. I'll be right back, right? And he walked off little man tried to walk off like Denzel. He tried, still had the Roman candle exploded in his head, but he walked off. Gets inside. They had like a sliding glass door to their backyard, so he gets inside, slides the door back, turns around and goes, Dad! Anyway, J.D. Vance had like a... crazy. That's a crazy face to even think is cool. Because you usually make it when bad stuff is happening. One time, this is vulnerable, I'm sorry, but okay, so one time I went to this fair. It was when I lived in Chicago, and they did like that Taste of Chicago thing. And I went, and there was this one place that had the cheese. I don't remember what it's called, but basically they take a piece of bread and they melt the cheese over the bread, and they use a knife to like cut the last little bit of cheese, and they hand it to you. And this was something I had never had before. I grew up in Louisiana. I grew up around a lot of like Cajun food, a lot of like, you know, like jambalaya, gumbo type stuff, but I had never had this. And just this particular bread with butter, with this cheese on it, was one of the best things I had ever had in my life up until that point. It was so good. It was so good, I went back several times. It was so good that I went back several times. And then I went home and was telling people, I was like, they had the cheese, and he had the knife, and he was like, and then, like, you know, and lay it out over the bread and everything. He never spilled a drop of cheese. I was blown away, you know. If he had spilled it, I would have caught it. This was some of the most delicious cheese I've ever had in my life. I didn't know a person could eat this much cheese. I ate it like soup. This was the most cheese I've ever eaten. You know, I usually have cheese if it's like a little single slice on a burger or something like that. This cheese, I could eat all day, which I did, right? And then the next day, I was full of cheese. I was full of cheese the worst way possible. I was so full of cheese. Okay, so not only did the cheese mess me up, because I had nightmares. Because you know how they say, don't have dairy before bed and everything? I had eaten so much dairy that it was basically before bed, even though it was hours of... So I had cheese and... Poof. Still remember the dreams, you know? I still remember, it was like two of my bullies from high school and a boss that, this is also what is crazy. This is why I haven't touched that cheese since, because I think it made me see the future. Because it was like two of my bullies from high school and a mean boss that I didn't have yet. I wouldn't have this boss for another year in real life. Like, when I saw him, when I was introduced to him, I was like, huh, because he was from my dream. This cheese took me to another dimension that night. So then it was these two bullies. Then this man over here, right? Hadn't met him yet, but they were all standing around me, and they were like, what do you even, like, you're not special. And then I woke up, it had been hours. That was the only thing that happened in the dream. I saw the three of them, and they were like, you're not special, and it had been 6 hours. So I don't know if it took them 6 hours to say that in the real world, or if they said it, and then I just didn't register anything else for 6 hours. But when I woke up, I was sweating. I was sweating so much, and I was sweating cheese. I was sweating pure cheese. I smelled like my chango had a car accident with Brie, and... turned around in the bed, I was sweating pools of cheese. I sat up, felt like I had a rock in me. Stomach felt heavy and everything. I was like, that was too much cheese. It was too much cheese. I knew it was too much cheese because they almost didn't serve me the last one. The last one they didn't want to give me, but a sale is a sale, you know what I mean? You know? And so then, you know, sweating. I was looking in the mirror. I looked terrible. Just pouring sweat. Looking in my own eyes in the mirror. And then sat down on the toilet and nothing happened. Nothing happened. And not for lack of trying. I even made the face. I was like... So when I saw J.D. Vance in the Vanity Fair, I was like, that's clearly too much cheese. This man looked full of cheese. The picture is so close to his head. It is crazy. It looked like him, but doesn't look like him. He's got one of the most interesting faces I've ever seen. Because he is not, but somehow almost, but definitely not, but maybe, but if you look real fast and blink twice, kind of handsome. You know what I mean? Like if somebody flashed a picture of his face, you'd be like, I think that was a chin. Like I think whoever you showed me has a chin. And then if you look at him too long, you're like, what are your cheeks doing, all right? What is their function? Are they out or are they in? I can't tell what is happening under that beard. Even his eyes, I'm like, is that eyeliner? Is it eyeliner, or does he just have like a smoky eye naturally? Is that what evil does to a person? You know what I mean? Does he look like... You know the mini boss? You know the mini boss before the middle of the movie? You know the first person that James Bond... the first person that James Bond like kick off a cliff or something like that. He got that face. And the picture is too close. I know. They did him dirty on purpose, but still, they did me dirty. Like I had to look at it. I didn't know this was possible. This is how talented the photographer is. The photographer made J.D. Vance look like J.D. Vance from South Park. Like the way he looked in the thing is so close that when you fill out the rest of the face, you imagine it the way that they did it in South Park. And even in South Park, they were like, let's go ahead and like over-exaggerate every feature. That is what will make it funny. Ha-ha comedy, right? But then this guy was like, nah, I think I could do it for real. Like, I think I could do that to him. I don't know. If I had a picture of me like that, I think I'd have to start anew. New life, new face. That is crazy. And then they didn't just do the close-ups, you know. Christopher didn't just do the close-ups. He did a bunch of other photos. Took another photo of J.D. Vance. This one was full body, all right? But this one was also hilarious because he zoomed out too far. Like this... J.D. Vance is over here. He probably told him to stand against the wall and give some sort of power pose. So then he's over here, got like, I think he's holding his ring or something like that, trying to give like a sort of House of Cards look. Like. Meanwhile, he doesn't know. The camera zoomed out enough that it's not just him at the wall, it's the floor, it's like a part of another room. I don't know what that is. I'm not acting like I know, I wasn't there, but I think he snuck a couch in the picture, which is also crazy work. That is a wild thing to do to somebody. To put a Wayfair-looking couch in a picture of J.D. Vance trying to sulk a little bit. It's a very romantic picture. It's crazy right here. And then, he wasn't done. Took a picture of Marco Rubio. And he took a picture of Marco Rubio. He decided to make this one black and white. J.D. Vance's was color. All the colors. He caught the acne, caught everything. And Marco Rubio's, though, was black and white, and he's looking off from the camera a little bit, you know? And even he was probably looking off. He probably told him, like, hey, give me something, you know? Give me something. Give me your version. Give me what you think would be. Try. Little sexy. And then Marco Rubio hit him with the... But he did it so close. He took the picture so close that Marco Rubio just looks slapped. Like, he looked like that moment that somebody gets slapped right before they look at who slapped them. You know what I mean? Like, they just moved your face. And a down slap, too. A down slap is very disrespectful. Normally, when being slapped, as someone who has been slapped, being slapped, depending on the situation, the height of the person, and their feelings about you, the slap is normally a sort of follow-through. You know what I mean? It's sort of a bow this way from right to left, you know? But if somebody really tried to disrespect you, or they got like 8 inches on you, they gotta aim down anyway, so it becomes a pow, a downward slap. Downward slap is tough to swallow. It is, especially as a man. If you get downward slapped as a man, you gotta reevaluate things. I'm sure there's some people who didn't even believe in gun ownership until they got downward slapped. Getting downward slapped will change your life. You know, wow, right? You don't really catch up. Up is too close to an uppercut, but up would be funny. Somebody jump up, pow. Face goes, ooh. Look at the stars. But this, you know, Marco Rubio down like this. Look like he's sulking a little bit. Like the picture is so close to his head. It looks like it looks like you are comforting him. You know what I mean? Because it looked like he's in the picture like, I was supposed to be chief of staff. He promised. You know when you get mad and you don't know what to do with this, so you just put it in your shoulder, then promise. Down. Rough. That's rough work. I mean, then he took another picture of Marco Rubio. This time, it was full body. And honestly, you should have stuck with close-ups, because the full body is genuinely wild, because Marco Rubio, I don't know what he told Marco to do, but he took a full body picture of him very far away. Once again, just like Jay Vance, very far away. Makes him look small. I don't know why Trump called him Little Marco Rubio. Maybe it's because he genuinely is a short man. Maybe it's because he shrinks up when he's around real men. Like, I don't know why Trump would call him Little Marco Rubio until I saw the picture. And I was like, that is crazy to put him in the picture, have him stand there. He's bent over a little bit. There's a lamp right here, and there's a doorknob on the other side, because they let an open door be in the frame, and Marco Rubio fighting that doorknob for height, fighting. Normally, I don't even think about doorknobs like that, but I was like, how close is that doorknob to his head? That doorknob look egregiously. Is that a big door? It was genuinely uncomfortable. And I was over here, and, you know, he's leaned over. This dude leaned over at it, and it doesn't really make sense why he's leaned over. Like, it feel like maybe he told him to look longingly at the lamp or something like that. Like, I don't know. No, you already got JD with the couch, maybe Marco with the lamp. But he's standing there looking like a piece of candy fell out of his pocket. Like, no. Now it's dirty. Oof. Oof. Even the picture that they took of all of them together, I'm sure that they thought, there's a thing that happens when you're taking pictures, you know what I mean? Where you are going off of what the person telling you to take the picture, they're telling you to do. So you are assuming whatever they're telling you to do is gonna look good, and that's why they're telling you to do it. You know what I mean? So they see everybody, you see everybody in the picture. He did one where everybody lined up around a desk, and even that one, he was too far away. So you just see like Stephen Miller on the edge, you see like Caroline Levitt standing up, and I'm sure they thought that this was gonna be like the next cover of the reboot of West Wing. But it just looks terrible. Like they look terrible in it. As a photo, I can't look away. Even with Stephen Miller. A picture of Stephen Miller is already unnecessary. You know what I mean? It's almost impossible to look at Stephen Miller and not think of like Megamind, you know what I mean? Like, but this dude got real close to Stephen Miller. Dangerous, right? This dude got real close to Stephen Miller, and not as close as J.D. Vance and the others, right? You can see his whole head. And I don't know if he made him like tilt his head or if Stephen Miller just did that, but he tilts his head. And he did this one in black and white too. He did this one in black and white. You had a bunch of shadow, harsh shadow across his face, really like accentuating like the age in his features and everything, not really able to see his eyes clearly. And this man made Stephen Miller look exactly like an old picture of Joseph Goebbels. When I've heard Stephen Miller compared to Joseph Goebbels before, like that thing, that like concept is not new. What is insane is that Christopher Anderson heard the comparison and he was like, yeah, I could do it. I could do it. Wow. Wow. Even the picture they took of Stephen Miller, like sitting on a couch, right? I think he was on a couch, may have been in a chair. He's over here, arm over, like this and everything. Probably told him, hey, sit like you're powerful. No, sit powerful, sit confident, sit like your wife isn't cheating on you with Elon Musk. You know what I mean? I don't know, it's what I've heard. I don't know. He tells him to sit down, he sits down. And then he's got just a little puff of stomach out here. Something that normally a photographer would crop out if they liked you. Even Susie Wiles, they took a picture of Susie Wiles, chief of staff, and that one very close. And she took that picture like she knew how close the camera was. Her eyes are very open, wide open. And maybe he got that close because if you just see her, you don't really make this sort of comparison. But like to me, with a picture that close, Susie Wiles looked like she from another dimension where Martha Stewart never became friends with Snoop Dogg. Like a dimension where Martha Stewart was as racist as Paula Deen. Never became friends with Snoop Dogg and got into politics. Whole thing was crazy. He even photographed one guy. I'll admit, I don't really remember who that dude was, but he just sort of made him look at the ceiling. And I was like, all right, fair enough. Yeah, I guess he's also confused about what he does. And then he took a picture of Caroline Levitt. It's very close. Some would say 2. And it just, wow. Wow, it's so close that when I saw it, I was genuinely shocked. And I was like, yeah, that's a statement. That's a statement. I mean, you are the mouthpiece for the government. You're like the mouthpiece for Trump and the government, and the picture that has been taken does make us look at your mouth. Yeah, I mean, usually it's full of lies. They were talking to Christopher Anderson about this photo shoot, and when asked about it, he was like, as a photographer, I take it as my responsibility to photograph what I encounter. I don't know if he's British, but that seems like a very posh way to say, I was just trying to show who you were on the inside. It is funny though, because that Vanity Fair article, they interviewed Susie Wiles, and as chief of staff, she has a lot of inside information, and she talked to this reporter, Christopher Whipple, for Vanity Fair 11 times. She talked to him 11 times. So it's not just like one interview that she could say is being taken out of context or they didn't use the whole thing. She came back 11 times. 11, wow. 11's a lot. At 11, y'all are like close. And yeah, she was just sort of like airing everybody out. It was crazy. And it wasn't the same way people get aired out after people get fired. Sometimes people get fired and then out of anger, they just try to air everybody out that they worked with, any flaw, anything that they saw, this person's fake, whatever, all this stuff, right? This woman told Vanity Fair everything and then clocked back in. That is a pimp move if I ever saw one. That's probably one of the most powerful moves I've seen in Trump's administration. I'm gonna tell everybody, and I dare you to fire me. I dare you to fire me. I'm the only one people like, apparently. That is crazy. She said that Trump had the personality of an alcoholic. It's like, okay. Like, that's not anything that we didn't know. She didn't say he drank. She said he had the personality of an alcoholic. And if you've ever heard Trump tell a story, I've been to more than 1,000 barbecues where the same type of story was told by the same uncle who had to digress, who... if you told me Trump had been drunk this entire time, I would believe it. I'd be like, that all checks out now. This actually makes so much more sense if you were drunk. Like, even a rally, you'll hear him speak at a rally, and you're like, if he was drunk, it would make sense that he speaks in commas. He can never just go through one sentence. There's always a detour, you know? Many are asking me, more people than I've ever asked anyone ever. You know, one time I was at a party and there were a lot of people there too. I'm being asked by almost as many people as there were at that party, but also, do you know Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson dated? That's kind of wild. Anyway, I was being asked by someone. I have the best polling numbers in the history of numbers. And when you check the numbers, they're gonna seem fake because the radical left is, Nancy Pelosi also makes a lot of money from, she also makes a lot of money from the stock market, and I don't even know if that should be allowed. She's crooked. Her and her husband. You know who else has a husband? My wife. My wife has a husband. It's me. I'm my wife's husband. And I'm the president of the United States, and I came here to tell you wanted to talk about something? The closest thing I can describe, like, Susie Wilde's Vanity Fair thing to is, when I was in college, I would go to this fast food restaurant that was near the campus. I won't say which one, but I would go there, and I would go there just to hang out with one of the cashiers because she was amazing. She always was ready to tell you everybody's business while you ordered. We became fast friends because I would just walk in and be like, hey, how's it going? And she would tell me how it was going for everybody in there. She would air everybody out. There was one time I walked in, I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'll just get like 5 nuggets. And she was like, oh, yeah, no, it's going all right. We a little short-staffed because, you know, Willie got arrested last night. He got arrested leaving work. They arrested him in the parking lot right there. No, it's right that spot, like where the Subaru is. They arrested him right there, you know. And they were like, get on the ground and everything. And they tried to handcuff him. And, you know, I don't know. I don't like to take joy in people's downfalls, but Willie and I dated, and he did me wrong. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a beautiful thing to watch your ex get arrested. I would recommend it for everybody. It's just something special about watching your ex get arrested and being all, get off me, you know what I mean? And you know, Willie little, so he trying to put up a fight, but it's not much of a fight. He just sort of like bouncing around in the cop's arm and get off me. And then they tried to cuff him, and it was tough because they you know, they had to click, 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 click. They had to get that last one, click, 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 because you know, he got the wrist of a bird. Like he's just like, it's like trying to arrest Tweety Bird. You gotta click it all the way. And then one of them slipped off, and they thought that was him. He was like, no, you gotta click it all the way, because he'd been arrested before. Yeah. So then they put him in the car and drove off. So, you know, he's not here on fries, but I'm having a great day. I'm doing wonderful. Yes. There was one time I went in there, I was like, hey, how's your day going? And she was like, you know, Trisha getting on my nerves. Now, admittedly, I only knew her, so I didn't know what Trisha was supposed to mean. It's like, Trisha getting on my nerves, you know what I mean? Like, she over here acting like she can't handle the drive-thru because she pregnant. I'm not even kidding, because she pregnant. We all pregnant, Trisha. People gonna act like they can't do something because they pregnant knowing you pregnant. I'm pregnant too, Trish. I mean, you know, it's just handing people stuff. All you gotta do, take a credit card and go ahead and hand it back. That's all we asking you to do, you know? But she over here, ooh, my back, ooh, my stomach. It's in your stomach, stupid. Your stomach gonna hurt, okay? You know what I mean? Because she want to act like she was a good employee before. She been bad, but now she just pregnant. You know what I mean? So then she... Anyway, what did you want? I was like, I just wanna know more. There was one time I walked in. I don't know what beef they had before I walked up, but she was walking to the counter. And she was walking to the counter and was leaning to the counter, saw me, and she was like, as she's turned it, sees me, had one more thing left that she wanted to say. So she leaned towards the counter, starts getting ready to type of thing. But then she's like, stay pregnant, Trisha. I've never heard stay pregnant in my life. But I don't know if I'll ever forget it. It just would air everybody out. So when I was reading this Vanity Fair article and I was reading what Susie was saying, I was like, I've been here before. Basically coming off like she thinks that J.D. Vance doesn't believe in much, how against Trump he was, and then all the way to becoming his vice president and everything. She even said some of the things that we knew but hadn't been said. You know, like they brought up Letitia James. They talked about Venezuela, and she said what we've all sort of been knowing. You know, Letitia James. Oh, that's just sort of a retribution campaign. You know, really got nothing to do with any illegal activity. Oh, Venezuela. You know, that's really just for regime change and for oil. And like I guess she's in a place where she can be honest about stuff sometimes. She's not the one that has to go speak in front of the nation. That's Caroline Leavitt. It's Caroline Leavitt that has to go out there now in light of us knowing everything we know from the Vanity Fair article and then ask like, hey, so we're blowing up boats and we're claiming it's because of narco-terrorism when really it seems like we're just trying to bomb Maduro into submission so we can get some sort of regime change and also get their oil. Is this really just for oil? Is it really just attack on another country's sovereignty? And Caroline Leavitt got to stand there and be like, the president has been clear about this. He cares about the lives of American citizens. I don't know if y'all saw it yet, but Justin Timberlake got arrested. Justin Timberlake got arrested for DWI in what he was in the Hamptons. How fast do you have to be going as a white man in the Hamptons to get pulled over? Because I was reading the story and this man gets pulled over and then I guess his friends noticed that he left or whatever, so then they also left and then they saw him getting pulled over, so they pulled up and they were trying to like beg the cop to cut him a break. They're like, you know, he's I don't know if he was close to home, but they were like making excuses for him. And in my head, even in that moment, I was like, why didn't y'all give him a ride? Like that's Justin Timberlake is so rich. How do you have all that money and you don't have a driver? That's crazy. That's so irresponsible. You got all the NSYNC money. Could have hired one of them to drive. I was reading the story. It was heartbreaking. Not even as a, you know, I don't know what's happening. I truly don't. I truly have no idea. But like, that shit sounded like an attack. That was. God, who makes that their alarm? God damn. That's the most savage. That's. It feels like my high school bully came to the show. That is wild.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You know, life happens, but you gotta pick a different one because that feels so crazy. Because the first time I heard it, I was like, maybe I'm a little too hot in this hoodie. Maybe I'm about to faint because I feel like I'm outside right now. And then I heard it again. I was like, nah, that's crickets. That's. Jeez, what? I didn't know we had beef like that. You were over here like, and I'm gonna sit in the front too. I got his ass. No. I got him. Damn, no, it feels like an ex paid you. That is so wild. No, I'm gonna wait till he think he making one of his little points. Nah, I got his ass. Oh, God. Oh. No. I don't know. I feel weird about it. I feel like maybe you look at Justin Timberlake and whatever hex Britney Spears put on is working. It's working overtime. And fame is a very interesting thing. Fame is a mystery. It really is, because Justin Timberlake is doing an arena tour. A whole arena tour. But when he got pulled over and they asked him to step out of the car, the cop didn't know who he was. The cop didn't know who he was because the cop was too young. And I don't know about you, but that hurt me. I was reading the article and it said that the cop was too young to know, and I think I got 3 wrinkles on my knuckles. Right then, I was like, No, it was absolutely insane. Doesn't know who he was. Like if only Justin had been pulled over by a single mom of 2. You know what I mean? Just a millennial single mom of 2. She would have been like, I'll give you a ride. Come on, Justin. No, put the lights on and everything. Woo, woo, we gotta get Justin home. Then they took that man to jail to take a picture. That picture, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's not an album cover. That face that Justin made is the most encapsulating face of a man in trouble I've ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? Like you can see in his eyes, he thinking about how he'll have to call Jessica. Whoa. That was wild. And then this is my conspiracy theory. There's nothing to back up what I'm saying. There's not a shred of evidence and there's not a word from anyone that backs up what I'm saying. But I think, okay. Do y'all remember Justin? You remember that decade that Justin wanted to be black? Do you remember that? Do you remember that decade that Justin was like, ladies? Y'all remember that, right? That I feel like at first when he got there and they flashed the picture, and also I'm sure that they turned the brightness up extra on mug shots because like people who you could tell were ready don't look ready when they take the picture. That thing is so bright, it must be prolonged, make you open your eyes to be like, huh. Like it's. I think after he took the picture and he's also sobering up a bit, he was like, wait. this is just street cred. Let me go ahead and milk it, right? Because there have been varying reports on whether or not Justin was handcuffed, right? And personally, my conspiracy, I don't think he was. I feel like Justin was like, look, I know I'm about to go, but can you cuff me real quick? And the cop was like, what? It's like, can you cuff me real quick? Like, just, you know, there's gonna be people waiting out there. Can you cuff me real quick? And he's like, I don't even know you. Like, please just do it. He's like, I'm not gonna do that, but I'll just stand in front of the door, hold the door open. He was like, okay, all right. And then he walked out. And if you look at the thing, he's got his hands clasped together, but you don't see any like loose chain dangling. And when you zoom into the picture, it looked like a little bit of leather on that. Like, that's a bracelet. That's a bracelet. But then JT over here doing his best Malcolm X impression. My man. Another black man locked up. Yeah. Actually, okay. Did y'all see the white woman that got in trouble for saying the N-word? I know, you said which one. Okay, fair enough. Okay. I say the because this was the for me. It's like other people were saying it, people were saying it all the time, but this one felt especially crazy, so I followed the story because it is captivating. Okay, so basically, okay, where do I even start? There's a thing called trad wife. Now, trad wife is short for traditional wife, right? Trad wife is like this content thing that they do on TikTok. It's spilled over to Instagram a little bit, and it's basically women doing like stuff around the house while telling women to be better women, right? It's just like, why don't you be a lady while she makes a pie or something? I don't get it. It's not for me. I'm not who watches it. But basically, there was this young white woman that was over here cooking something. It didn't look done. And maybe it was done. Maybe she's bad at it. I don't know. But it did not look done. But then she's talking about her friends, and then she says, you know, because then some of my friends out here are just like, you know, out here dating these guys, and you know, broke ass niggas, right? And she says it without missing a beat. She says it like you're not gonna hear it, right? So then, of course, everyone who saw this, like, it started this frenzy online, right? And so there were all these people, she did it on TikTok, there was all these people commenting, replying, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? Are you trolling? All stuff like that, right? And then she makes another video, and she's like, look, I made a video earlier that offended a community or something, and like, and I've really listened to the feedback, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't really give a care. Like, I don't know. It's like, so then they found her job, right? Which is crazy, because you a trad wife. Why you working? Why? You know what I mean? Why are you're supposed to be a traditional, why are you working at all? You can't trad wife on the side. You can't. There's no such thing as halfway crooks. You know what I mean? You gotta be all in or all out, right? And so then they found her job, then they got her fired from her job, right? So then everyone was like talking about how, you know, she clearly got fired, even though they don't say her name. They issued a press release, because why else would they do it? And they were like, yeah, a certain individual's not working here anymore. So then she starts trying to cozy up to, like, you know, Newsmax and like One Nation News and just a lot of the alt-right on Twitter and everything. And she takes this spin of like, I was canceled, right? So she gets on Newsmax real quick, but she also just doesn't quite have the juice. You know what I mean by that? She doesn't quite have the like, the presence and the energy of like a real racist is gonna be a newscaster. You know what I mean? Like, she just doesn't have it. Like, when you're watching her, you're like, she's saying bad things and they're annoying, but I'm not angry. She just doesn't have the oomph to get me there. You know what I mean? Like, I've just never seen diet racism before, but that was it. So then she makes more videos trying to double down harder. And in these upcoming videos, she just gets way worse with it. Gets like even more bigoted with it. So she's tweeting the N-word all the time. She's been tweeting the N-word nonstop since she got fired, right? And now she's making videos where she's saying the F-word, right? And so she's just going after everybody, just trying to prove how terrible that she is, right? And so then she starts trying to cozy up to a lot of these, like, especially neo-Nazis as much as she can. And then a turn takes place. An incredible turn that I could not have predicted. One of the most insane things that has maybe happened so far this century, the neo-Nazis start rejecting her as a psyop. Because they feel what I feel. They see the video and they're like, you don't mean it though. Like, it's not... It's not like coming out of your stomach, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, you're not even saying it with bass, you know? Like, like, and so then they were like, no, don't trust her, okay? Don't listen to her, don't follow her. She working for the CIA, she probably a Fed. They all turned on her. They started bullying her. It was absolutely insane. It was one of those things where then she keeps trying to cozy up to him. She keeps trying to like take pictures with him. She's going to events and stuff like that. And some of the ones that roll with her are rolling with her in real time, you know? And they're like making fun of how other people are making fun of her, but you can tell she's still not like in yet, you know? She's not like with them hard. But then there are some people that can't stand her so much. This happened like a week ago. So in the course of 3 days, they can't stand her so much that they start digging up her old tweets, right? So then another thing I never would have seen coming, they dig up her old tweets and they find old, not racist tweets from like 2 years ago where she was telling somebody, hey, that's actually appropriation. You might not want to do that. And so now she getting canceled by the neo-Nazis for old, not racist tweets. So then she over here fighting for her life, trying like N-word, F-word, everything, just throwing it all out there, trying to see what sticks. And then other people will comment under her on Twitter like, is this you, bitch? Miss Stolen Land? You know? And she just played it. She played it poorly. That's what happened. She could have had a real shot. She could have. But she doesn't have enough of the real. You can tell she's not really racist. I know it's a weird thing to say about somebody who's been saying the N-word nonstop for a week, but you can just tell she doesn't have the fire in her. You know, that's not how you do it. You were making racist people uncomfortable. There were racist people commenting under her like, this is uncouth. That's not how you do it. If you really want to be somebody as a racist, if you really want to make waves as a bigot, you start out slow. You start with a bunch of slow and steady dog whistles over decades. You know what I mean? You never say the word outright. You throw out a thug here every once in a while. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, like on a holiday, you can get real crazy with it. You can do like a animals or something. It's like, get people going, you know? Plant your feet, but don't dig too deep. And then after a while, you know, you start to ingratiate yourself. They start to be like, hey, she's one of us. And then they bring you in, and maybe they bring you in on a temporary basis, and they give you like a little guest spot every now and again. And then after a couple decades, you get a hosting gig, you know? Because be honest, like if a week from now, Megyn Kelly said the N-word, we'd be like, yup. We expected that. She's been earning it over decades. The expectation lands right on the strip perfectly. And then we also find out that she might be single, so you're not only not a trap wife, you're not a wife. What are you doing? Where's your man right now? Like you weren't a trad wife. You were working. You are a mom, but you were working, and you're a single working mom. That's a bigger demographic to appeal to. She really put herself in the position where she really needs a husband. Like this.